Welcome to the Bomb Podcast. I am your host, David MD. We just spent the last 10 minutes recording fucking nothing. If you're not familiar with the Palmcast, fucking A. This is going fantastic today.
Well, if your clappers break, you've got a pair of scissors here.
Yeah, just start stabbing ourselves here. Yeah, my clapper board fucking broke. We just spent the last 10 minutes recording nothing.
Yep.
Oh, God. Welcome to the bomb, because today is the fucking bomb.
Yeah.
This is why we're moving to Monday nights starting 2 weeks from now.
Shouldn't drink in the morning. That's what happened. That's what it is. Just drinking in the morning.
That's what happens when you open your first beer at 9:30 on a Saturday morning.
Whoops.
Anyway, there's my wife with a fucking peanut gallery there, too.
I mean, it's only like a beer. It's not liquor, right?
Sam, go get the Don Julio. Anyway, so 2 minutes in, we still haven't done our introduction. Welcome to the bomb. Let me get it to the right camera, too. Welcome to the Bomb Podcast. I am your host, David MD. If you're not familiar with the Palmcast, I'm just continually fucking this up. Talk about bombing at life, bombing at love, and bombing on stage. With me today is George. I need to get this fucking podcast into his lap. So
Welcome to the Bomb Podcast. We're ripping straight out of,
Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs. That's where we live.
We're in the 80831.
What? Oh,
Yeah, 80831.
Cool. Yeah, I'm in the low digits. 809.
Yeah, it was 80911 with the old studio, but God, man, this is so bad right now. You want to take a seat, Howdy? You want to watch this fucking train wreck?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, so we're 3 minutes in on a 15-minute podcast already. So, George, let's do a take two on this, because we're now recording. I'm seeing the numbers move on the screen. This is a bomb of a bomb today. Yeah. Anyway.
Honestly, we could just start with like a no segue first thing we were talking about.
Yeah, so what we'll do, we'll just bring up the, you've been cutting your own hair for the last 10 years. Let's go back over it. Maybe we'll polish up some of this content that we just did.
Don't pay me to cut your hair. Don't ask me to do it for free.
That's the gist of that whole story.
I know my own hair enough to sometimes nail it. The rest of the time, I'm committed to a very short haircut.
So you said in college, you used to pay a professional.
I haven't. Yeah, I mean, growing up, like I had my haircuts paid for me. You know, I was a blessed kid. And then I went to college, and like I let it grow out because I was like, trying to be a hippie. And then I had a friend cut my hair when I got sick of it, and then I got sick of it again. A friend's mom cut it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm an art major. I could do this too. And I did pretty good first time with scissors. And then mom gave me a pair of clippers, and then I just, when I needed it, I was like, let's give it a go.
See, I am jealous of your look, though. I wish I could go to work like that. But
I mean, like, I do wear a hairnet at the bakery.
That is true. But anytime I hear artist and cutting with scissors, I always think you're going to Van Gogh your fucking ear off, too.
It's in, like, an hour-long process to cut my hair. I'm not good at it.
Never said I was good. I just said I did it.
Like, if I was good, I'd be done in 20 minutes. But, like, I just keep chopping until it looks okay, and then I go on with my day.
Well, Sam, you've been in the cosmetology industry for 3 years. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
How choppy is this? Pretty, right?
I mean, I haven't really gotten a really good look at it, but I will happily take a look.
How about from afar? 'Cause, like,
we have the camera to zoom in on that. So Sam said that she will take a look at it off screen. But
okay, yeah. I mean, how do I ask a barber? Can you make it disheveled and like uneven? Like, is that texture? That's the word. It's a professional word.
Who was I talking to? Again, reading cracks.com. It's like the fourth fucking plug for crack.com. Bernie Sanders, when he goes on CNN, he goes on Fox and everything. So they got to put makeup on that fucking ugly faces and everything. He doesn't want his hair touched. Like that disheveled fucking haircut, that's like his thing. So like maybe that'll be your thing, man. You get somebody to do it all.
Let me
disheveled.
do my own hair. But like,
where's my balloon?
If the bags under my eyes are a little intense, you can do. You can Emphasize or de-emphasize, muddle. Yeah.
That's why I need a little makeup, a little eyeshadow.
Yeah,
mascara.
my eyes are quite baggy. I just spent many years not sleeping right.
You know what you should try is Parenthood. Really fucking sleep.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's a lot.
I am jealous though. It looks like how long has your hair been? Has it been like ridiculous?
I've gotten it to the shoulders.
Oh, nice. Is that on the Facebook?
Maybe a couple. Like I've got a newer Facebook. So,
Yeah, you did that too.
I mean, I wanted to have everything under salty soup stock. It's funny, right?
Salty soup.
Look up salty soup stock and you'll find me.
Fuck. I am jealous of that texture though that you have there, because I'm trying to grow out my hair, but my shit's like straight as Kurt Cobain here.
My hair just gets kind of like greasy and dangly looking, and like it's too much work to make it look nice longer. So
yeah,
like that looks so much like smoother than what my
this
hair.
looks like I want to talk to your manager.
Yeah, but it's smooth hair. Like my hair doesn't look smooth when it's that long.
You don't want it this straight, man. So what I have been doing though is I've been asking Sam to braid my hair every so often, and we'll get a little texture in there too. That'd be fucking awesome. What we need to do for this next podcast that Sam's down here is actually mic her up.
Yeah.
So
We'll do, so that we can have a solid peanut gallery.
there you go.
Keep this entertaining.
So this was right around when I realized we weren't recording, but the segue that I wanted to do into your arrest story went off the rails. So I'm kind of glad that we didn't record my little hot take on COVID and Karens and everything. So
That's why we should drink in the morning.
That's right. Morning drunk. No, you don't want to drink in the morning because it'll take you 3 fucking minutes to do your 10-second intro of bombing at life, love, bombing on stage.
Yeah. So I got arrested in Jersey.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. So
Where were you?
my hometown.
Oh dear. That's Burlington?
It was,
Why am I thinking Burlington?
I don't know, but we have a coat factory somewhere near, I'm sure. Mount Olive Township. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, right next to Hackettstown, Chester. Apparently Jim Brewer lives there.
Nice. I thought he was on Long Island.
Maybe now, I don't know, but I saw him at a friend's funeral, or friend's dad's funeral.
Damn.
So I was like, that was not a time to say, Jim Brewer, oh my god.
Oh yeah, I love your stuff.
Like, he went to church and like respected this man. So I'm like,
That's fucking
pay
awesome.
respects.
Yeah, Brewer's like a low key like Christian, unless you watch his stuff and you're like, that's not a low key at all.
Right.
Okay, so
Okay.
love you. So you got arrested.
I got arrested
Where in
in-
New Jersey? Morristown, you said?
Morristown, Flanders is the because Morristown, it's in a Mount Olive Township.
Okay.
So Flanders was the part that I was in.
Okay. And what were you doing?
Well, this was winter break from college.
Okay.
My buddy drove me home from SUNY Fredonia.
Okay.
So it's western New York, like 7 hours away.
Fuck.
So we just got there. Like, we left early in the morning to get there afternoon.
Okay.
And I hooked up with one of my friends, so the three of us are in his car, and he was kind of lazy. So, like, I was like, yo, let's park up higher on the street than to the woods we were going to go smoke some weed.
Oh.
We're in Colorado, so that's okay now. But, like, I was in Jersey where it's not okay. So
I think New York just legalized, I believe. New York or New Jersey?
New Jersey just voted for that, I believe. I don't know
Yeah.
how far in the process they are, but it's like real early stages, I think, still.
Yeah.
I haven't kept up with it, but
I know New York was decriminalized for the longest time.
Yes.
I think they're moving towards like legalization though.
I mean, it really doesn't cause too much trouble. It's like a lot of black market drug sales, but we don't need to get into that.
We're not trying to get heavy on the bomb.
Yeah, we're not.
So,
We're not trying to get
All right.
socio-political here. But
so
I
you're
was
smoking the jazz lettuce.
So yeah, basically we went to a dead end where that led to some woods just in our development area. So it wasn't. We didn't even walk far, but like he wanted to park right at the dead end instead of up the street and walk down a block and a half.
Okay.
So it would have been smart to do that, but he was like, no, because he's lazy. Like,
Well, you guys are stoners, so.
I'm a hardworking stoner. I walked in a blizzard just to get my buzz on. Like, no, I don't have to, but I was, you do what you have to.
Exactly.
So, we were in the woods for like 20 minutes. We had just rolled up the blunt and
Ooh.
the tobacco leaf, and we had just sparked it and passed it around once, and then 2 cop cars rolled up right there because some neighbor saw New York license plates, because that's where he's from,
Yeah.
pull up to a dead end, and 3 kids went in the woods. And that's where I come from, is people who just rat out stoners who are trying to have a good time.
Is that why you fled to Colorado?
I mean, that's part of it. Part of Colorado was also the stoners. Like, because like stoners just get my stuff more often than non-stoners. Even before drugs, like even my older, like before drug art, still same ilk. Like, I've been a weirdo for life. Drugs have nothing to do with that.
It just helps.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the same genre, you know? Like, so the cop cars come by. I'm like, oh, snap. So here's where I messed up, and I could have gotten away with it. It was really overgrown and, like, really full. Like, it was the beginning of winter before it really set in.
Okay.
So it was, like, December, but December, for some reason, wasn't that rough yet.
Okay. It's not depressing.
I guess because
like
of the
February.
humidity, like, kind of slows down but then it gets really rough until, like,
Yeah.
like, it'll snow until April, late April. May.
You know, we're expecting snow next week here.
Well, that's because we're in the mountains, and that'll happen too.
I'm in the plains, though.
But yeah, regardless, whatever. I just remember, like, the cops couldn't see me for a good minute until they got into the woods.
Okay.
That would have been the perfect time to take my stash in the bag that I had and just hurl it out into the woods. Because it was like a lumpy enough that they wouldn't be able to see what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I did take a clump of leaves and hide the blunt. Just that one.
As it was lit?
No, we put it out, but I put it underneath, and they did not find it. And I came back the next day and found it.
Oh, shit.
So, like, that was a silver lining to the situation, but I still had a bowl and a grinder and a bag of weed on me.
Oh, shit.
So I lost
Paraphernalia.
those. Yeah, paraphernalia. So the cops are like, "What are you doing here?" I just want to smoke. And then, like, he pulls me. He could have patted me down. Like, he went through my bag and found the bowl and the grinder. Do you have anything else? I'm like, and I'm a twitchy, paranoid kid. So when I do one of these, like, go reach for it and then put my hand back in my pocket motions, I'm like, shit, this is gonna be a long conversation if I should just. I was like, here's the bag. And then years probation, a bunch of my parents' money.
Oh.
And then, yeah, it was really just cops making their rounds, trying, like, it was neighbors being rats about a harmless situation. Y'all suburbians don't know what real trouble is.
Come catch this heat, right?
Right? Come talk to me and tell me sorry or not. I don't care, really.
Fucking shit, man.
And, yeah. So there was a time where I got caught in college in my dorm. Be like, why does it smell like weed in here? Because I was using a vaporizer. And I was like, oh, it was just me. And then people came over. So I took the heat. And then they sent a letter home. And then first year was done. This was so late in the spring semester that I got home before the letter did.
Damn.
And I burned that letter. And I kept the secret. And then I got arrested. And then it was in the newspaper.
Oh, shit.
And then it showed up, and my sister got the heat of it, like, whoa, George Wagner was arrested? And she didn't know anything. So that was a rough day of high school for her.
Yeah. Fuck, dude.
So, yeah. That was just, like, sloppy decisions, Like, I was just a kid who didn't know how to play with fire, Like,
live and learn, buddy.
You gotta be responsible.
Fuck, man. Speaking of weed, I was offered weed last week.
Right.
As I was leaving 3E's. I was like, nah, my employer, like, random. And literally less than 12 hours later, got popped for a piss test. Like, just a random, like, oh, hey, we're just making sure everybody's above board.
That's why you act responsibly and make wise decisions. Because, like, comics are very chaotic, and they like their fun, and that's...
They like to relax and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, we do. I think a lot of comics struggle to relax. But
Yeah. Well, especially, like, thinking about getting on stage.
Oh, that's a bit of that too. Like, even after a good set, like, you're jiving for a while. Bad set, good set, you need to, like, shake it off.
Yeah. I do love the mental game of it. Is you have to definitely have a strength to either recovering or getting on stage. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff to reflect on.
So having had good sets makes it easier to bomb. Then it's more frustrated, like, why don't you get it? Then, am I a piece of shit? Like, but sometimes it's both. It's like, why don't you get it? Maybe I'm a piece of shit.
So we're just going to move to the next thing
Sure.
here. Because this one beer I'm having early in the morning is not doing me any good. Sex story. Apparently you got a bad sex story that we have to keep ambiguous.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it ambiguous. The timeline is going to be really 10 to 30 years ago.
So you're either a newborn or...
Yeah. I'm either fresh out the womb or yesterday.
Alrighty. So with that in mind, where were you? Well, I guess that we can.
Where what?
Were you here in Colorado? Were you in New Jersey? Were you in New York?
Gotta keep that ambiguous.
Even more
too.
ambiguous.
Yeah, because I don't have a big history, and if you narrow it down by location, you're gonna figure it out. And
so it's somewhere between the East Coast and the West Coast.
Oh, I haven't been to the West Coast. This is honestly,
but it's somewhere in between those two.
Yes, it's in America.
Okay. Somewhere in the northern American continent.
Somewhere in the United States.
Okay.
With people who are also from the United States.
Male, female?
She was a female. Okay. And I assume still is. I don't think that's part of her journey to not be female.
So we can...
So, a female in the United States, more than 10 minutes ago.
Somewhere between 4.5 feet and 7 feet tall.
Yeah, somewhere between 2 inches tall and 2,000 feet tall. I don't know. Okay. We're establishing the point. We're beating a dead horse here. So we decided there is no private place to go. That's trouble already, right? So let's use this car. And so we go to like a movie theater parking lot because it was spacious. You know, like one of those, like it was night, you know, and like we just park where there aren't as many people and, set up the sun visor in the back. And, it started sweet. You know, we talked to each other, talked about our feelings and stories and stuff.
Okay.
By the end of it, though, there's a big flashlight coming through a now foggy window, and we're already getting dressed. But like, here's where I was kind of shitty, and I just kind of a child still. Should have given her my shirt because she couldn't find her shirt at the time.
Oh,
and he was just like, so open the window, and like panic attack, and just kind of had to have the worst conversation of my life.
You had an actual panic attack in the middle of this?
I was making panicky decisions.
Okay.
It was enough to be like shit and like and so that was our one time we did that. That was like, I don't think it was kind of not great after that. So
yeah.
So like she had to talk, like she had a bra on at least, but that was shitty of me to like not be the gentleman in the situation. I should have been the topless one. So he let us off. Thank goodness. I did not actually get arrested for that one.
Okay.
But still talked to a cop and...
shirtless. Well, she was shirtless.
Yeah, I was fine. The douchebag I was, but like, yeah. So, yeah. I should have waited another 10 seconds, try to get her situated, at least get a coat or something.
Yeah.
So that sucked.
Well, that's the
And-
important thing with bombs.
Yeah,
man.
you
As
know,
long as
you
you
learn.
learn from
You
them.
learn from it,
Exactly.
and you are going to be much better taken care of by me now than I was 10
So
minutes
call
to
me.
30 years ago.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah, that was rough. So, that was, I don't have a long list of people, so that was it doesn't help your confidence too much.
I think I'm at 6
Um,
and staying at 6 for life. Unless things get really interesting in my marriage, but I don't think that's going to happen.
yeah, I mean, there are other interesting. It could still get interesting and not include other people. So,
But we're talking about the numbers. So.
yeah, we're talking about the numbers. A little more than 6 now, but I'm not trying to stack them up. Like it's just, like life gonna happen. So
Yeah, I think a lot of guys could talk about the small amount of numbers that they have and interpret that as their own bombs. But yeah,
I mean, you have life happens, and it's,
but yeah, public sex. I think I've only had sex twice in public. Yeah, one was on a construction site.
ooh, that's
Yeah.
risky.
Well, it was a housing area that was being built, like, because there's like a home here, and then like 300-400 feet down the road was another house there, but there was a like in between the two was like a little downhill like there. So we got to the bottom of that hill to stay at a like visual like sight and everything.
Right.
Did our thing over the car, and like right as like we're getting near the end there, I look over and there's lights coming over the thing. I was like,
No.
oh shit.
Oh no.
So we jumped back in the car, and the person I think they lived on the block. Like we're terrified those gonna be fucking cops. Yeah, because I was a dumbass, and yeah. Stuff.
I mean, you want to like get your adrenaline, like
it was an adrenaline rush. It's pretty fucking nice.
I mean, like
Hey,
a few of those.
yeah, I think only the other one was in a park, on a bench. That was pretty fun too. Nobody walked in on us drove up on us on that one though, so that was pretty fun.
I mean, like park bench, like shenanigans happened, but it wasn't straight up sex.
Oh, mine was.
Good way to go, champ.
Hey, anything for the win, right? So we have a short list this week, but again, the cool thing about this is we can talk about bombing at life, bombing at love, bombing on stage. We also talk about the bomb ass decade, the 90s.
Yeah.
My fucking TV was flashing back there.
Yeah. Was there anything
Dude.
else in that list that I answered yes
It was
to?
bad haircuts, arrests, and sex.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, because I covered so many topics last time.
But one of the things we were talking about that we haven't really talked about too much on the Bomb podcast is video games.
Video games. Yeah. I mean, I had some that I grew up on. Like, my dad let me play Doom.
Oh.
Yeah, when I was 4. That was so cool, and that shaped my personality for life. Sorry if that's what you feared, Mom, when you said I can't play it anymore. But, I'm a metalhead. I feel like you already knew. You can blame church for that.
Let's see. So we got Doom. We were talking about Pokemon Snap on the damn podcast.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap was a blast. So one game that I played the living daylights out of that no one knows about, and it's kind of an obnoxious name, Pokemon Puzzle League.
What the fuck?
Have you heard of Super Nintendo's Tetris Attack?
Damn, son. Going vague on this shit.
Yeah, so it's a different kind of Tetris.
Okay.
Instead of blocks in shapes coming down, they come up and they're just different colors. And you got this little 2-switcher thing that switches the 2. I looked it up and there's other version. Yep, there you go. So you click and your purple and blue block will change and you make a row of 3 or more. They fall down loosely. And they could make more combinations, and that's where you have you can get more chain reactions.
Okay.
And the better you do, or the more than 3 that you make, you start dropping garbage on the opponent, and so it becomes a really intense Tetris game.
That's so
It's
weird.
And Tetris Attack was good, but Pokemon Puzzle League had faster gameplay.
There we go. Pokemon Puzzle.
Yeah, so Pokemon Puzzle will actually, like, you could get as, like, really, really fast. And at least as a kid, I was as fast as the computers, but now I'm a little smarter, though I'm not as fast. And every now and then, I'll just, I'll come home and play that game for a while and just play through super hard. And, like, I'm basically, like, 1 for 2. So.
Okay. That's a 90s throwback.
I guess so. I think that's 90s. Oh, it started in 2000.
Birthday is on September 2000 of my birthday. Huh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Damn.
So, yeah, that game was a lot of fun. No one knows about it. When I first started, my friends beat me. My grandma beat me. Everyone was just better than me.
Okay.
And then I got horribly sick with like a stomach virus or something, and I was out of school for like a month.
Fuck.
And my parents would my mom made like 2 giant buckets of homemade fried chicken, and would just I would just eat like a couple pieces of chicken. The only thing I could eat, drink some cranberry juice.
You said you had a stomach virus for this long, for a month,
something like that. I remember being.
Damn.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but I was super sick for a long time.
Wow.
And I would
catch
just,
that 90s COVID.
Yeah, I don't know, something. I don't know. But I would just wake up, eat the same thing, do my math homework, and then play that game.
God,
and I was like, I'm going to be better than my friend Mike, and I'm going to kick his ass. And then Mike never got better.
Nice.
He was like, played medium or whatever.
Mm.
And I played hard. I unlocked very hard mode. I unlocked super hard mode. Got as good as the computers, and no one else played the game. There's no one who's good at this game. I don't know anyone. I found someone in college who had the game. They're like, you're like a computer, man. I don't even like. It's like if people played this game like people play Call of Duty. Or Mario, even. Like, you see these videos on YouTube of Mario players that just, like... Whoop, whoop,
oh, yeah, those quick runs or whatever?
They just float through the game.
Yeah.
And just, like, you don't even see a challenge in how they play.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look hard. That's... I just want a good match with someone at a game I actually got good at. Like,
that's a weird thing. I went through YouTube, and what do they call them? It's like, literally do these games as fast as they can. Speed runs. Yeah, speed runs. It's like, why the fuck are you playing a video game from like 1986 and posting it on YouTube? Like, okay, you did.
Who's good? But people watch it,
and that's the thing.
That's so weird, right?
This podcast has 32 subscribers. Shit like that has like 100,000 subscribers.
Okay, I'm
like, what's the secret?
So that thing, what did the fox say? That's got 1 billion views.
Doesn't.
1 billion.
What the fuck?
Like, and that's. All that song was I don't know this thing, and sing about it. They did another one, was Stonehenge, and it was literally the same premise of, what is it? I don't know. I didn't do research. Like,
the fuck? Yeah. 1 billion views. Holy shit.
Yeah. So all you have to do is, like, something stupid, and...
Just the right kind of stupid.
The right kind of stupid about the right thing, and then you just get so famous that you don't need to work like that. You don't have to work the same way we do anymore.
Fucking
1B. That's 1 capital B views.
What the?
That's
fuck,
insanity. Man. It's not even entertaining.
I don't think I've ever heard that song. I've never heard that song all the way through, and I never heard Baby Shark all the way through. I just saw some idiots.
I have seen the metal version of Baby Shark.
Nice.
There are several versions, but the one I saw had like puppets and backdrop and whatnot going on, and it was just Baby Shark, do 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 do. Like,
what the fuck? What was it? The first huge video was the History of Dance or something like that. That feels like that's a throwback to the 90s from that.
History of Dance. I don't know. There's a lot of culture I missed. Oh, Power Rangers. That's a 90s classic.
Which ones did you watch? Did you just
Mighty Morphin, Turbo? Those were the 2 really cool ones.
Those are the first 2 ones, right?
I think so.
Because after halfway through the second one, I was done.
They had a couple space themed ones, and those
I'm out.
Like whatever was right after Turbo, I was still down for.
Okay.
And I think Turbo
this
might have been the third one.
You never saw that one?
Evolution of Dance.
He goes from the twist all the way up to.
Honestly, the outfit and stage kind of rings a bell.
Yeah, I forget what this is. Either his first one to break 100 million views or something.
Either that, or I'm just thinking of Colin Moffrey, like Whose Line? Anyway.
Oh yeah, Colin. 90s TV. That was Whose Line and Drew Carey.
Yeah, but I was like late 2000s when I actually started watching those clips.
What?
I was unexposed. I didn't like. My parents also didn't know what these things were, so they were like, "It's like I love who's that Western guy, Western movie."
Clint Eastwood.
Not Clint Eastwood, the other guy.
You talking about the Duke? Fucking.
Not the Duke. He's just like. Is it a John?
Yeah, John Wayne's the Duke.
John Wayne. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Duke.
Oh, he's the Duke.
Yeah.
Oh. John Wayne. Yeah. So.
That's all stuff you watched?
No, that's just what my mom watched, and I wasn't very interested.
I was gonna say, if you grew up on that stuff, we got multiple comedians have been on this the podcast now. Luso grew up on I Love Lucy.
Okay.
Andrew Ingram was the Smothers Brothers. Them old throwbacks there. Because it's funny is they're both 90s-esque kids, 90-esque kids, but yeah, they grew up on like old 50s stuff.
You know, like I grew up on Toonami. Yeah, the Cartoon Network had like that's where like anime kind of came onto Cartoon Network. So Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, one of the classics. If you're gonna get into an anime saga, like that's more than 20 episodes, try that one, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like by the time anime like hit like, you know, the American scene and like really started pushing, I feel like I was already a little past that age group.
It's fun. Just watch anime now.
I'm good. Even now, I'm just like especially if it's like the original audio and stuff. My ex-wife used to watch Sailor Moon, the subtitled shit. So you'd hear the Japanese stuff.
Watch like so.
Kill me now.
The original Naruto, that was like one of the few where I would actually do the Japanese because the English voice is just like and just I can't. I can't just believe it. No,
there's too much time.
So that's one thing. So there are a couple things that anime does that I don't get it. I don't get why they do it. Like spazzing out is not funny in itself.
Yeah, there's just so many things that like I can't like get hooked into.
They announce all their attacks that I don't get.
Yeah,
it's like the hash ringing slasher attack. Like it's just a swing. You're just flying at the guy, just doing this.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
No one in boxing is like the jab cross hook maneuver. Like
my ex-wife also played it was an anime game about a courtroom like video game.
I know what you're talking about. I never played it, but I've seen like on Newgrounds parodies with it. I forget the name of it right now.
Who the fuck?
It's got the like slick back hair dude with the blue suit.
Yeah. Just anime
about court. Just anime court and you'll know.
Ace Attorney. Yeah,
yep,
my ex-wife had this.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so fucking random.
I never got into that game. I know it looks like they did it as a show, which makes sense.
Yeah, I will never understand anime.
I mean, some of the stories are really good.
That's what I consistently hear is sounds like the writing's really good, but like the animation, the sound of the voices and everything, like I'm out. Like,
I mean, so like. My parents probably agree to a good extent, but they actually liked Death Note.
Okay.
So that one, the premise is some guy finds a book, and it's a demonic book where you write someone's name while thinking about them, and they'll die.
Oh, that's convenient.
And so there's like an ace detective trying to find the guy and figure out what the heck is happening with these mysterious deaths.
Okay.
And it's just really good. It's just a really well-written story.
Man.
So that like they can get that deep, but then you know some of them get a little obnoxious.
Yeah,
I don't know how to bridge that gap.
And I think that's the gap. Anytime I'm like, all right, let me give this like 30 seconds. It's always something that's not good. I'm just like, all right, fuck, I'm out of here. I think it's that. It's sometimes when they do an animation, like the face won't move, but the mouth will just move.
Honestly, I think that was like done because after a while, they like part of it's saving time.
Yeah.
Because, like, instead of American animation where they just draw really simple characters, they're doing, like, realistic designs, but they use the same image and just, like, pan a lot.
Yeah.
Or, like, do still frames. And so, like, that's why they'll have the guy jump at you, like, slasher attack!
Yeah, and then all the background, like, motion, but, like,
Yeah.
the one person doesn't actually move.
So, like, it's a lot of cost cutting in that aspect. And some, like, you know, you look at, like, some of the modern Dragon Ball Z, and, like, that budget is out of the fucking wall, dude. It's because, like, the smoothness in that frame by frame they do, holy crap, is that time. You want, like, a minute of that, that'll take one guy 6 months full time almost. Like it's those fights are insane. So, you know, just like,
I think that's the only anime that I watched, because we were in Pennsylvania, so that was 96, 97, when Dragon Ball Z dropped on the Fox box, and I watched. I was like, that's pretty interesting. Like, you know, green dude fucking fighting another like orange wearing guy.
Yeah.
I was just like, all right, it's kind of cool. And then we moved to Germany, where that wasn't like shown on TV.
right.
I came back in 2001, and everybody's like, Dragon Ball Z, fucking. Brr. I'm like, that show that
The
was
goofy
barely
one.
watchable when, you know, I saw it. And
Yeah, I mean, it's that one's not my favorite anime, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just it's fine, whatever.
But yeah, when it came to TV, especially the Saturday morning cartoons, the Spider-Man, X-Men, Batman, like all of those were like
Batman
all in
Beyond, was that more 2000s?
I think so. Yeah, because the one I'm thinking is Batman the Animated Series,
I saw some of that.
which was cool because they did all that artwork on black paper. That's the reason why it has such that dark like look to it.
Yeah, pull that up for a sec. Let's see that.
They went with a very deliberate like noir like feel to it, but all of that was done on black paper.
Interesting.
So
Yeah, because it was definitely very shadow based. That's neat.
yeah, especially like this shit, you definitely would
Yeah.
take forever if you started on white paper.
And that image right there has been used in memes. It's great.
Which one?
The one you just zoomed in on of Batman's face.
Oh yeah.
Just in the dark, and then like it's something cringy, and then like the second frame is just narrower eyes.
Yeah. But I mean, you had Mark Hamill as the Joker, probably one of the best Jokers there ever was. But that morning cartoon thing, that's where I was attached to like the X-Men. And when they put like Hugh Jackman in for Wolverine, I was like, I don't see it. Like,
you don't,
because I grew up on X-Men animated series, Wolverine. Like, this guy does not look like Hugh Jackman to me. I don't know. I think it's the hair on the arms, like, because he's a short, stocky guy. Hugh Jackman's like over 6 foot tall.
oh wow,
Yeah, and his literally the name, how he got Wolverine was that character was a small, like, person, like a Wolverine, because Wolverines are like not very tall at all. I don't know.
I was fine with Hugh Jackman. I didn't realize he was that. Like they must have like be careful with their camera angles or something, because like, it wasn't a prominent thought to me.
It would have been fucking funny though if they gave him that hat or the mask there. I think they
Giant mask.
Yeah,
like,
it's
that's bump
huge.
into the doorway.
Yeah. I think in one of the deleted scenes they actually teased. Hold on a second. Wolverine throwback mask. Deleted scene, I think. Yeah. So they literally had a deleted scene where Hugh Jackman comes across like the original mask, like the yellow and black one.
Oh, okay.
There you go. A little better view right there. But
It's
yeah.
dark, but yeah, I see it.
I miss the old days cartoon. But like I said though, on the damn podcast, now you have all these streaming services where you really don't have to wake up early. You know, you just fucking Do all the streaming. Fuck. We got 41 minutes in.
Yeah,
Games, cartoons. What TV shows did you watch? You said it was just cartoons back
like
in the 90s?
mostly like I watched a couple there was like Bill Nye.
Oh, Bill Nye the fucking Science. That guy was fucking awesome.
He
What's
was-
crazy is he's still like promoting that stuff.
Yeah, like he came back out and started to the public face and
Yeah.
started doing his thing, and for the same people, just 20 years later.
I wish he'd start up again, like, because I think Disney owned the rights to that. Obviously, Disney owns fucking everything now.
Yeah,
they could put even
Marvel.
more money in there.
It's ridiculous.
I want to say that was Disney. Yeah, man, you learned it was a hilarious show.
Yeah, it
You
was-
actually learned something.
Yeah, it was fun to watch and full of knowledge.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. First episode 93, final episode 98. So that actually
Wow.
died
That was a strictly
in the
90s show.
Yeah. On PBS, really? Where the fuck's the
Hey.
Wikipedia? Wikipedia. Bam. Bill Nye Science Guy. Could have swore Disney owned this shit. There you go. Walt Disney Televisions. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess they put that out because they wanted to be educational.
yeah.
Turns out he doesn't actually have a doctorate in science.
Yeah, it's like a mechanical engineering
Yeah.
degree.
You know he has a copyright on ballet shoes?
Ballet shows.
Or not a copyright,
Trademark?
not trademark. Forget the name of it. When you design something, then you lock it down and say that bitch is mine.
Copyright would fit.
Yeah,
But-
copyright. God damn, my brain is fucking fried. No more Saturday morning recordings. Patent. That's what I was looking for. He has a patent
Patent.
on ballet shoes.
Oh,
Fucking
neat.
struggling today.
Crazy.
Born in 55. He's
Hmm.
older than my dad. But yeah, man, what I hated though was they if your teacher was just lazy that day, they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna watch Bill Nye. They'd fucking wheel in that fucking
That's
huge.
how it was introduced. I was like, what? Bill Nye? That was awesome.
What do you think is your favorite lesson learned from Bill Nye?
I don't remember any.
Um,
I just know knowledge now, and that's, I think,
You think
Bill
Bill Nye.
as well as school.
He did one where he got on a bicycle and showed you like the true to scale distances of the planets. So he had a basketball that represented the sun,
Okay.
and like he pedaled like a little bit, and he got to like Mercury. Then he pedaled a whole bunch to get to Venus, a whole bunch to get to Earth. And then getting to like the Saturn and Jupiter, that motherfucker was pedaling for like miles, like real world.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how like spread out all that shit was. So.
Okay, that's why Pluto's not a planet.
Well, so Pluto is not. It's not the distance from the sun; it's the size.
Yeah.
There's actually a larger planet between. I think it's either Earth and Mars, or Mars to. What's the next one after that? Jupiter. Or is it Saturn?
Yeah, Mars to Jupiter.
There's a planet that's actually bigger than Pluto, but still smaller than like the cutoff to like make
Okay.
varsity planet level there. So
I've heard about something that was like a little farther from Pluto that was also not that big.
well, there's a theory because they're seeing stuff come into our solar system and being affected by a gravitational force. And there's a theory out there that there's a rather large planet past Pluto, but because they're not able to get the light reflected from the sun and everything, it's really difficult to detect like where the fuck, like where's this gravitational pull coming from? They theorize that there's actually another planet out there.
Neat.
So we're gonna go into the science bomb podcast here.
Science bombs, yeah.
You ever heard of CLEP tests where you can basically test out of a college course, get the credits without having to do the time?
Oh, neat.
So literally it's like a 100-question test, and if you score high enough, like, all right, you get the credits for that. For astronomy, I went in there without even opening up a fucking book and passed it. I was like, all right, cool. There's 3 credits right there. I didn't have to fucking.
Yeah, I forget what it was called. They had some kind of system in New York, but they don't do those tests in Jersey.
It's Clep and Dante's is the other one.
Not Dante's. It was like a different kind of final. That not quite like SAT, but you would take that.
Oh, for the end of your course thing, it's the Regents exams.
Regents, yes.
Fucking hated the Regents.
Never had to do it myself
because it's in New York, and there's another state out there that does it. What's that? That was there's a '90s throw. Well, no, I didn't take mine during the '90s, but at the end of your course there, they had a week of Regents tests. So like Monday was all the history tests. So you would have to get to school with everyone else taking like the history test. So it'd be like everybody in your grade, and then maybe a second grade that was testing along with that.
Okay.
But it's like militant, where it's like, all right, nobody touches any of the testing material until we read these fucking 3 paragraphs.
Right.
And then once you do that, open up your book, fill out the bubble sheets, but don't look at the first page. It fucking sucked, dude. And it put a lot of stress on the teachers.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Because you're not teaching for them to learn anymore. You're teaching to pass a stupid fucking test.
Yep, that's how the SATs felt once like that came through. He had like a month of just everything feeling more like that.
Yeah, or you just like cram this information without having the knowledge, just having the familiarity.
Right. Well, in a similar way to you describing before, like I didn't even have to take a Regents because I came from New Jersey into New York, and they just looked at my final grades. And even for Spanish, it's Spanish 3 honors. I don't know how I got it, but I was failing test after test and just pulled an 85 by the end of it.
Fuck.
I was not good testing for Spanish, and I learned more fluency working with a couple Mexicans for a couple years. But
how did they do it without the? So
they
were
just
they
looked at the final grade? If it's higher than an 85, they said, okay, you don't have to take math or Spanish in college for art.
Well, hey, with New York too. So we came in. My dad just got moved from Germany to upstate New York, and up there, 1, they have the Regents. 2, they don't have a math program that's familiar to the rest of the country. So they have like the rest of the country, like you take algebra, you take pre-algebra, you take calculus, all this stuff. What they did is they took all of those curriculums, threw it in a blender, and then diced them all up. So when you show up to 9th grade, like registering to school, if you said, I just got done with 8th grade pre-algebra, they have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
They're crammed in this Math A and Math B program. So like if you wanted to do like 9th grade math, I think it was A1 was like their first like math thing in high school. And then it went Math A, A2, B1, B, then B2. You're like, what the fuck is all this shit?
I did geometry, pre-calculus, calculus.
And that's what I'm saying. So they took all of those, blended it up, and then spread it across this curriculum here.
Weird. So you would learn all those subjects each year?
At a different skill level base. So like if you're an A1,
that sounds confusing.
You would be taking a little bit of geometry, a little bit of calculus, a little bit of statistics at like a low level skill level. And then as you got up into like the higher levels of that, you'd be getting into more advanced calculus, more advanced algebra, more advanced like all this shit.
Okay.
It confused the fuck out of anybody that wasn't born and raised in the New York system.
Weird.
So like all these military brats are like, so what sucked with me, there's a bomb here. My math skills did not go past the 10th grade. And in reality, it's actually 9th grade. So when I show up to New York, we're like, the conversation we just had, like I took pre-algebra. They're like, well, we don't know what the fuck that. I'm like, how the fuck do you not know that? You guys are high school administrators. How do you not know what fucking pre-algebra is? Anyway, they go, well, we're going to put you in this Math AB program. We're like, okay, this sounds like an introductory thing. They're like, yeah, it's an introductory thing. We get through it. So my first day here in Math AB, it's a bunch of fuck up kids. Turns out Math AB is actually 8th grade math. So I'm a freshman in high school taking 8th grade math.
This is starting to sound like Common Core. Have you heard of that one?
It's not Common Core, but it makes you want to fucking kill yourself like Common Core.
Okay, I imagine.
But when I was taking 10th grade, my 10th grade math was actually freshman math, and then I did vocational school for my math credits for 11th and 12th grade.
We'll give it a few more years. I'm sure it's going to keep backtracking, and senior year is now freshman year stuff. The more we learn, the more we teach.
When it comes to math, my wife's teaching everything, so I'll take English and science, and she can take
like science
history.
and math are fine. Because, like, once you know how it works, then you don't really need to review, like, it's going to do the same thing every time. But if you make me remember a name and a date, so you're mean. Like, you're just not a nice person.
See, I'm the exact opposite, because with math, there's variables. There's always something that can change inside a math equation.
Yeah, but same technique, though.
But when it comes to history, like, all right, Hitler invaded Poland on this exact date.
Yeah,
that is never going to change.
He doesn't re-invade a different time at a different rate.
Exactly.
So I get that.
And that's where my brain commits to, like, facts. When it comes to, like, variable, even with, like, a sentence, like, I could not tell you the difference between a noun, a verb, adjective, any of that stuff. Because, like, it always, like, every sentence has a different noun, has a different verb, has a different adjective. Like,
yeah,
I don't
but they
fucking
do the same
know.
thing every time.
Yeah,
so
like,
it's
what's a
just
noun?
function.
A person, place, and thing is a noun, or is that a verb? Like, I don't...
I mean, like, I get a little confused after the basics. Like, adverb I can kind of get. That's describing the verb. But
Which is hilarious, because we're stand-ups. You would think that we would know...
I mean, I can get nitty-gritty on that. It's just no one will listen.
Yeah. But yeah, if you were to be like, all right, write a sentence up here and show me where the noun, the verb, and all that stuff, I'd be like, oh,
No, start
fucking
bringing
know.
like subject and predicate, then I start getting a little confused. Like,
Yeah, like, I don't even know that shit. Like,
subject is what it's about. Predicate is what it's doing, I think.
predicate. See, if my wife was down here, we'd actually...
Yeah, that one, she'd be like, oh, yes. Or like...
Predicate. Prediction,
predicate upon this.
predicate.
So
The part of the sentence or clause containing a verb. See, I'm already fucking lost.
yeah.
A verb and stating something about the subject.
So yeah, the subject predicates in the situation.
What?
The cat walks to the room. So the walks to is the predicate. The cat is the subject. And the object is also a noun, and that's receiving the action.
I'm so fucking lost right now. That's what I'm saying, dude, is my brain does not work with variables like that. And, like, that's as bad as math for me. It's like, what the fuck? The thing is, I could write really well.
Right.
I speak relatively well, depending on what company I'm in.
What matters is more of the word economy and the artful, like using your consonants versus your soft letters, like those things. That's more of like the musical flow of your conversation.
Yeah.
So that's what really matters anyway.
I mean, if you really wanted to boil down your word economy, you'd be like, all right, where's my verb? Where's my all that stuff? Like,
See, you can't go onto the stage and say predicate because no one knows what that means, and you're not going to get a laugh. If
well, no, I'm not saying that you do that. What I'm saying, though, is if you really wanted to boil down your words, you know that every sentence needs an A, B, and C.
Yes.
You could do that. But, like, how much time do you have in your life where you'd boil your stuff down that much?
Yeah, well, how much will you boil it down and come to the same results? Because, like, I did my own taxes once, and it took me a solid week of every day after work. I spent like 2 hours answering questions that all led to zero. And just like,
did you do like online by yourself, or you did the paper based?
I got the 1040A because I wanted to include my student loans once.
Okay.
I did it correctly. So the EZ form is 16 questions like that.
Yeah.
And then the A is 54 questions.
Fuck that.
And it's like, are you this? I don't even know what that means. So I'm looking it up. I'm going through this whole thing. I'm doing math to figure out my bracket. Oh, I'm not related to this. That was a long Tuesday.
Fuck that.
So, yeah, I feel like your comedy would just turn into that. A lot of just like, I didn't need to do this work.
It feels like I'm doing taxes right now. Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, so pretty much, the only one that changed was the student loans one. as I thought it would have.
So glad I don't have student loans.
They got rid of the 1040A too. They kind of combined that, and you might as well just do TurboTax or something.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, I did that online and got the same results, and like, okay, I'm not handing that paper in or doing that work ever again. But it used to be more relevant.
Yeah.
And I guess, like life, they're just trying to make it easier. So
We should just be like the rest of the the rest of the world doesn't file their own taxes.
Oh, it just gets sent like a little receipt.
Yeah, they're just like, all right, here's proof that you did the shit, like bam, and then
if
here's
you
your
didn't-
tax return.
If you didn't, you get a bill, right?
Yeah.
That's how it should be. But for some reason, it gives you this illusion of saving or gaining money, and it's like, no, you're just doing the work. And
That's why flat taxes should just be a thing. I pay 10%, you pay 10%, the asshole down the road pays 10%.
I mean, that's
Then there's no fucking question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to that. And because then, the better you do, the more you pay, but the bigger your 90% is.
Exactly. Anyway,
Yeah.
that gets
I
into
mean,
people talk
yeah.
about taxes and shit.
Yeah,
so.
and I'm not I was good at math, but I went for art and did drug sense. So. I did math competitions in school. In middle school, I literally was that good at math that
Damn.
I found the super nerds, and I think we were all autistic, and and I had fun. That's another part that was it's
That's fine. They should.
I disappoint my parents. So
should change it from math club to autism
yeah,
club.
math club. Yeah, it was literally and the teacher was super nice and just brought M&Ms and stuff. And we just
For the kids with poor communication skills staring at the floor.
honestly, it was cool to learn about some concepts topology is. I do not know the app what's useful about this math.
Topology.
It's a kind of weird geometry, and I don't even know how to do math problems with it. But all you're really doing is seeing how shapes relate, and they either have holes or intersections in the lines. So an 8 is the same as a B if you were to not change any holes or intersections and just shape it like clay.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and so if you were to take the B shape or the 8 and just flatten that out, or take a B and round those sides out to make an 8 shape, they are related topologically.
What the fuck?
An O, the letter O, and the letter D. Yeah, I see you checking your watch. I'm bombing.
No,
right
I keep
now.
hearing this. My fucking ring keeps going off. Somebody's at my front door.
Oh. Packages, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Hopefully the packages.
Yeah, hopefully stuff. But yeah, if I do this, or then you make an O shape, I'm not really changing the intersections.
Okay.
And
You're cooking my brain.
it's a really, really, I do not know how to apply this to anything.
That's my thing. Is
It's
cool.
It's neat. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing though, and I have no but they made up a word, and I got to learn about it for a bit, and I got to be a nerd and just be wow.
See, that's how I got in my own way in high school, where my grades plateaued at C's. Was okay. This is cool that you're trying to teach me this, but how does this help me do my tax? Because I became very practical. How does this help me do my taxes?
Right.
How does this help me put food on the table? And once you get to that point where you're if it's not helping me past 12th grade, I don't fucking care. You really kneecap the fuck out of your high school career.
I mean, that makes sense. I didn't I went to college being kind of clueless and realized an art degree was wow, art isn't fun when I do it for other people. So that was a rough realization.
I say if you want to be successful, you'll never have a social life ever again.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I'm doing comedy. I get to try my jokes faster and meet people. And that's you kind of need to meet people, so that's my hobby now. But yeah, I agree. It's I liked algebra because it was puzzles, kind of you get a Sudoku.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, after that, it was just a lot of calculator punching. I'm
fuck. They're still selling those T83, whatever the fuck those are, for $100 fucking dollars.
Oh yeah, those crazy
20 years ago.
Those crazy calculators that had games in them sometimes, like Block Dude. I don't know if you know about Block Dude.
No, I just wrote boobs on it.
Well,
My parents refused to buy a T83.
I don't. Yeah, T90s. Or
T9.
I think I was using
The
T90.
big fucking.
Yeah, like they're like as thick as a Game Gear.
Yeah. Old school fucking laptop and shit. So.
Block Dude's the best though. Like it was a game. Like they had like 3 games in it, and like you pick up this block, put it here. Now you got a stair, and you got it like a step.
So it's almost like
you stack blocks
Minecraft.
Kind of, but like it's 2-dimensional. You're just trying to get to that door that's up in the sky.
Oh.
And like,
It's kind of like Lemmings, another throwback to the 90s.
Oh, okay, I like.
Did you never play Lemmings?
No, but I vaguely know what you're talking about.
So the game starts like it's a platformer, and you have a door where like lemmings like come in, and then you had to get them to like the door to get them off the fucking thing.
Right.
But you would have one of them would build for a little bit because you'd program them individually. Like, all right, I need you to build up to here, and then you're gonna stop these people because they're gonna fall here. Like, it's really fucking weird. Lemmings game. Yeah. So, like, this is a good example. So they would just bounce around between here and here until you got one of them to build. The problem is, so you have a certain amount of builders. So like I think this one built. So you had 5 builders. So it'd go up to about here, then they just drop off because this guy just like quit in the middle of the thing. So you'd have to continuously get these guys to build, then they would drop on there. But they just keep walking. So if they walked into like a meat shredder, like, all right, they're fucking dead. If they fall into a hole, they're fucking dead.
Okay.
And the shitty thing is, I think about like at this point, it's too high, so they literally fall to their deaths too.
Oh,
so you had to constantly put like roadblock guys in there, so they'd walk over here for a little bit.
Oh my god, that sounds like a complicated version of like the Pipes game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This would, my wife would have a panic attack watching this because if you didn't get it just right, they would literally all fall to their death before they got to here. So, yeah, if you have anxiety, don't play Lemmings from the 90s.
Okay. Play Doom instead.
Exactly. Well, that is how we're going to wrap up this game.
Yeah.
Like I said, though, I'm going to try to get my Nintendo 64 fixed so we can actually play like best of 10 or some shit for like GoldenEye or something.
Yeah, it's a shame you don't know Smash though. That was a blast.
Was there a Smash on 64?
Yeah, the original Super Smash Brothers
Was on 64.
Yeah, my best were
It's
Pikachu and Fox.
Too. Super Smash.
I don't know if it's worth a fortune, but like you could find it in most colleges.
Oh, it was on there. Okay.
Yeah. That's I was really and Samus too. Like anyone who's good with Samus knows the arm cannon is half useless.
Alrighty, well, we are going to wrap this up. My wife just gave me pizza.
Oh, that's a
nice.
good. Yeah, now it's
Ooh,
in
that
the
smells
afternoon.
good too. Fuck. Alrighty, guys. Well, it was great talking to you, George. It'll be really fun editing that intro because we recorded for like 10 minutes and then I'm gonna leave all that in.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave in the clapperboard failing. Because when I redid the clapperboard, the camera was on you, not me, so I clapped 3 times unnecessarily. When it flipped over to me, the fucking clapperboard was in 2 pieces.
And I was also doing this.
Yeah, dude. Like, I completely just fucked up the intro for this. So if you stuck around, whichever fucking camera, we're on camera 1. Enjoy yourselves, people. We'll see you next week. Hopefully I got my shit together. Let's make sure we get my title card up here. Bam. Alrighty. Love you guys.